This video is made possible by the following sponsors. Make sure to check out their awesome products in the links below. Hey guys, Jimmy here and welcome back to Assetto Corsa for another video. Today we are back in the recently released Ferrari pack to drive arguably the most beautiful Ferrari that has ever been made, the Ferrari 250 GTO. Now I'm pretty sure that every Ferrari fan knows the 250 GTO, and by chance you don't, you're about to find out what it's all about in this video. Today I'm going to be taking on this 3-litre V12 beast at Goodwood. This is a circuit I think is absolutely perfect for this type of car, and of course holds the Goodwood revival every year. If you haven't heard of that, YouTube it now and thank me later. I'm going to be going up against 19 other 250 GTOs in this race, and if the last auction price for this car is set as a guideline, then the grid we're going to be on is going to be worth £500 million. This car went for 25 million at auction back in 2012. I don't even want to think about what it'd be worth now, but still a super expensive fake grid. Today we're not going to be recording in VR, just a standard format today, which actually allows me to use my foot cam, which means hopefully I can show you guys some fancy footwork. On board then in our Ferrari 250 GTO, very expensive, very beautiful, lights coming on, raise up the revs. Oh yes, get the wheel spin going and nowhere to go. So we've got to immediately get our throttle into second gear. Going to go to the outside here. There's a little bit of space on the outside. Nearly chop off the 15's nose behind me. Now I'm stuck on the outside. That was a bad decision to make. Third gear through T1. Usually this is the fourth gear corner, but we've got nowhere to go right now. I'm just literally just waiting for the cars in front to get on with it so I can also get on with it as no grip on the outside there. 86 coming in front of us. I'm going to go up to fourth gear and try and get onto the inside. There's a car on the inside of me though. He's just come out of that. Nice. Now for the fastest corner on the circuit. Usually go through here in fifth gear, but it's first lap through, so we're just sort of tentatively going through in fourth. Now up to fifth and braking in a straight line if you can down the fourth gear. Aim for the curb on the inside, miss it by a mile because your tyres aren't warm yet. Bias play tyres here, so take a little while to warm up. Get out of here. You can see the rear end just all over the shop. Fantastic fun just trying to keep it in check. And now we go down to second gear for this left hand. I'm going to pull to the inside here. I forgot the guy on the outside. Oh, trying to be soft on the front on the way out. You can just see how much the rear tyres are struggling to put down that 300 horsepower that V12 sitting in front of us produces. Up to fifth gear now, nearly up to top speed. Now look for the curb on the left. We're going to brake just past that on our first lap. And there it is. We're going to go down to fourth and then third, straight line it. And now this corner, very difficult. It's a very late apex here. There it is. Try and bring the car around on the throttle. It's very easy to go wide there onto that curb and get a little bit skew with. Now through the chicane for the first time. It's like there's a couple of cars have had issues through there. So, oh, cars, stop it, guys. These cars are so expensive. Stop smashing them up. Hey, I know. What have you done? Oh, we nearly got through without breaking it, guys. Okay, cut the cost of this grid from 500 million to about 450 million after that, which is sad, boys. But here we are then. T1, first time at sort of semi-decent speed, fourth gear. Waiting for the rear end to come round. There is a couple of retirements there, so they've really bought their priceless Ferraris. Mine's still good. Up into fifth gear now, right up behind this 20 car. Let's try and go to the inside. Oh, I can see the damage to that guy's car. I'm going to force it on the circuit. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. What am I doing? Fourth gear. That's a bit better through there. And then we go down to third gear. The tyre's starting to come alive a little bit now. It's a big bias play tyre, so a lot of the movement you do is sideways. Actually, the fast way to drive this car is with a big old four-wheel drift. You can see I'm using heel and toe here. I'm using my very, very fashionable plimsolls today because I couldn't bother to go find socks, so I've got this. Easy, softly now. Fourth gear. I really love driving cars like this. Such a challenge. And just the actual technique of driving it with an H pattern as well. It's really fun to go back and sort of just brush up in it every now and then. So gonna brake heavily and go from fifth to third gear with the blip on the downshift. Then the blip is to make sure the rear tyres do not lock as they try and catch up to the engine speed. And second gear for the chicane here, and then big kick of oversteer on the exit. You see the cars doing that so much in the revival. Again, guys, if you haven't seen the Goodwood Revival after this video, of course, watch this first, then go on YouTube, Goodwood Revival TT race, and just prepare yourselves for a treat. You can thank me in the comments. Oh, saying that, sideways. Oh, using all the road there. That's what it's all about. Fifth gear, again, just dabbing the brakes, trying to get the nose turned in, get the rear round. Using all the circuit here, absolutely fantastic fun when you get it right. The braking zone in these things is so long, it's such a long braking distance, but it does mean that there's more opportunity to go up the inside of somebody if you can get it stopped. This car is pretty damn fast, a straight line, 300 horsepower from the V12 in front. This car weighs less than 900 kilograms, so less than my MX-5 weighs. As you can imagine, it means for some pretty decent straight line speed, but that's about as fast as it gets. It's not very fast in the corners. It was at the time. It's not anymore, of course. And the brakes are pretty shocking by today's standard, but it does mean you get a really fun, really authentic experience trying to race these things, especially at Goodwood here. This is a mod circuit, which I will include in the link below or in the old description. Reno, that is bad through there. I took the wrong line. You see, having to correct that, costing me time on the entrance. Off on the exit, and oh, car off to the left there. It's like he's refusing to keep going again out of the shame of smashing the 250 GTO. He's brought shame to his family. Deservedly so. Up into fourth gear, then up onto lap 4 as well. Bit of left foot braking for T1. And I must say, I'm not the biggest Ferrari fan in the world. I do like a good Ferrari, but I'm not a fanatic like my friend Mr. Snatcho. But this car is... To get to drive this car, I know how special this car is in real life, and to get to drive it in a sim, and it feels like a very good representation, I must say. Of course, it feels like how I would expect this car to drive. Just be very lethargic, very lazy in the corners, but then at the same time, just a fantastic experience. You get that experience through the sim, and that is the impressive thing. You can really feel the passion. You know, that Italian passion that Kunos always rabbit on about. You can really feel it in this car. I should be in third gear through here really, but didn't feel very confident. Nice and sideways. And Goodwood, of course, used to race F1 here back in the day. And you can tell that so this track hasn't really evolved that much back from those times. There's not really any runoffs, just walls either side. So when you do make a mistake, it's usually a very expensive one. I think I'm braking a little bit too early now. Now the brakes come to the temperature, I can afford to brake a little bit later. I'm just being nice and soft on them. You don't get much performance out of the brakes. You have to... Oh, no! No, no, no. I'm going to have to miss the chicane to get around that. Car's off there. That was not what you really want to see. Oh, AI, why have you done that? I was about to say that AI aren't too bad around here, but every now and then they do something stupid like that, and of course, through the last chicane, there's not really anywhere to go. You just hit the wall, which is a tyre barrier in real life, I think, or something a little bit less painful than the solid object it is in Assetto Corsa. But the AI just smash into it, and then of course they block the circuit, and you have nowhere to go. I had to miss the chicane there, which is a real shame, but hey-ho. So now, I've sort of gained a couple of positions from doing that. I've got to really try and look in front, and setting that AI off again! On his own as well. Is he going to come back onto the circuit? He's going to make it back onto the circuit, which just means we have someone to fight now at least, but it's like he's struggling to get back up to speed again. Come on, soft Jimmy. And there's another place here. He's slow on the outside. Oh, car is bucking. Just about keeping it under control with the car on the inside. Got to go wide. Oh no. Got onto the dirty line there. Lose a couple of spots. It's not over by any stretch of imagination. Still a good fight going on here. And this is a car you can really work up a sweat while driving. Definitely one of those cars for the historic fans out there. Just a shame there's not really anything for it to race in Assetto Corsa right now. Not really anyway. Still waiting for Historics to get their ass in gear and release their mod for Assetto Corsa because, well, Historics did have a 250 GTO. But it would be great to have this against other period cars, you know. But right now it's just a very expensive grid, which is very quickly becoming a less expensive grid as cars seem to be just absolutely intent on wrecking each other. Right, okay, let's try and catch these guys in front. I've sort of let them get away a little bit. I think my braking into the second to last corner, or the, sorry, the long right-hander is letting me down a little bit. But I can be quick through here. There you go, see that gap visibly come down through there. All about momentum. You've got to really respect the ability of this car, and the ability isn't necessarily that high, but it's a different sort of driving. As you can see, you're getting loose there. And yes, you have to allow the car to slide, and that's how you get the maximum speed out of it. Let it turn in nice and early. A little bit of throttle down to third. Easy now. Oh no, see, kick there as the car came back round over the crest. Very difficult part of the circuit there. It's very easy to go off. Taking the car all the way up to the red line there in third. 8,000 RPM from that V12 in front, and my god, does it sing. Oh yes. Sideways all the way through there. Why the hell not? A little bit of slipstream up here. Fastest part of the circuit again. Haven't got a speedo here, so I can't tell you how fast I'm going, but if you ought to believe the specs of this car, it will do about 180 mile an hour if the gearing's right, which is pretty damn impressive for a car from 1962. Cars in front are bashing and fighting each other. Please don't kill each other in a chicane AI. It's something I'm going to try to, which is good. Second gear. Let's try and get a good run out of here, shall we? On the throttle nice and early. Oh, on that curb there. Couple more laps here to try and get past these guys. Oh, I do love driving historic cars every now and then. Of course, I always know I'm a bit of a downforce nerd. I love my downforce cars, but it's always fun to let loose on one of these cars. They're just so satisfying when you get them right. I feel like such a fucking badass drifting one of these around. Force feedback is very nice as well. Against what I expect, it's lazy force feedback, but it's informative. I know what the car's about to do. Matches the car perfectly. So we're right behind these guys in front now. Again, my braking let me down a little bit. I seem to carry more speed for the actual corner. 24 goes into the grass on the inside. I can't really go around the outside here. Or can I? No, I can't. Again, that seems to be a slippery piece of track there. 112 gets a bit of a mistake, just putting a wheel in the grass, and now on the outside again. Don't like being on the outside for this corner. There's not much grip out there. Yeah, there you go again. Trying to get on the power. We've got a better run off the corner. Nowhere to go though. Now we have. He opened up the door. And we're side by side. Going to flat shift it. Oh, that felt bad. Don't flat shift a 250 GTO, Jimmy. Don't kill that poor V12. Okay, so that's one down. One to go. A couple of laps left to do it. Yellow flag in front again. I guess it's for the car that went off earlier. A bit more adventurous into the braking zone there. Only a little bit more. Oh, Jimmy. Hitting on the power a little bit too violently, and it's causing the car to swing out. Easy now. There you go. There's a bit of a train behind me right now. The guys in front have just left us alone, so this is sort of the best of the rest right now, which I can deal with. Come on, bring it in, Jimmy. Bring it in. No. There you go. You want the rear to start sliding. That's when you start getting the best turning out of the car. When you're understeering, bad. You need to get rid of that straight away. Get on the throttle. Get it round. The real secret of this car is just to go sideways and go fast. Yeah, I always say if a car makes you smile, makes you laugh when you drive it, then it's doing something right. Especially if it's a sim car, because this ain't real. Next best thing though. I'm going to try to go to the outside here. I'm not sure if I've got it or not. Again, through that little dip there that really upsets me. 24 still ahead of me though. Not really anywhere to go. I'm going to have to just tuck in behind. Keep it in third gear. Come on now. The AI are okay around here, as I said before, but AI don't like sliding that much. I've noticed that in Assetto Corsa. The AI don't like driving historic cars. Same's true in project cars too, to be honest. I'm not quite sure if it's just a difficulty of the AI trying to deal without having traction, but here we are. Nice run. Not much I can really do here. It's not really an overtaking spot unless you have a far superior car. 24 locks up the brakes big time though. Not really anything I can do apart from just wait behind him though, which is frustrating. Second gear. I love the noise of the overrun. Fantastic. Come on, third gear. Use the torque. Coming on to the penultimate lap now. Can we go up the inside of T1? Oh, not quite. Down the third gear. Usually I use 4 through here, but we're quite close to this guy in front, so I want that extra bit of power. Oh no! No! Contact! Ah, no! Oh no! 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 Oh, you little bastard! I damaged it. We fucked it, boys. You know what? I think we're still ahead of this little group though. Oh, I feel dirty for banging the. Oh god, this car's so expensive. I know it's not real, but it still feels dirty. It does mean though we can hopefully do a lap without anyone stopping us or getting in our way, so I can sort of show you guys. Or maybe a fast lap might look like around here. It says that I might not even make it. Easy peasy, still alive. Balls to the wall. Okay, let's forget that we're driving a priceless car. Let's drive it like they do at Goodwood. Let's rag it like it's a race car and see what we can get out of it, shall we? Fourth gear, right, okay, I'm not sure we're going to catch this guy in front. In fact, I'm almost certain we won't, unless he makes a mistake, but we can have a good, fun, hard go at it. Okay, let's look to the left then. Brake a bit later than usual. Fourth gear, third gear. On the outside again, take a later apex. Brakes to help us get it in, nice. Nice big kick of oversteer on the exit, down to second gear. Put a chicane, bring it in there, accelerate. Sideways, third. Look to the pit wall, see my imaginary pit board saying one more lap. Okay then. Leave it in fourth gear. Brake late, aim for that little cross on the inside there. Accelerate, nice. Sideways, 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 still sideways. Keep the throttle on, keep the throttle on. Yes, there you go, nice. That was good. Up to fifth gear now the fastest part of the circuit. Balls to the wall through here. Little bit of understeer on the entry. That was fast and scary. And then brake hard down the fourth in a straight line. Bring it in. Not. That's okay, not too bad. Third gear. Now softly a hit through here. Car just wants to slide around and kill you. That was nice. Fourth gear. Down the third. Gonna aim for a little cross. Oh, big understeer there. That was slow. Still just bounce it around on the throttle there. You can see the rear end just dancing. You can let it dance a little bit. Not too much. Like a drunk friend. Let it dance until it makes an ass of itself. But again, looking for our braking marker. Car's light on fuel now, so we can go even later than we usually do. See, we did gain quite a big chunk of time there, but it's not going to be enough to catch the guy in front. And never get that corner right. Always feel so in between. But there it is, guys. 10 laps of the awesome Goodwood circuit in the amazing 250 GTO. Good job, Kunos. Good race there. AI were a little bit up and down, but we had a good run of things. We end up coming home. I can't see where we came home because of the bloody thing there. We end up coming home in 6th place. Not bad. Old school F1 points. I am sweating after that. But guys, if you enjoyed that video, make sure to hit that like button. There it is. Look how pretty it is. And if you really enjoyed it, hit subscribe to be notified of future videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care. Have an awesome day. See you all next time.